The movie that I'm about to review, the movie that I'm about to review is Howard the Duck. A movie that some people say is one of the worst movies ever. One of the most cliche movies you ever see. And the movie starts out with Howard the Duck coming home, sitting down, drinking a beer, maybe a Duckweiser, Duckweiser, and having a nice cigar, watching some duck programming, and just duck relaxing. That's a lot of duck. Paraphrasing, but anyways, this movie was one of my favorite movies of all time. And the thing that really draws you to this movie is he is a comic book hero. And he was one of the most kind of those comic book heroes that doesn't really, have superpowers. He's a normal person, but he's a duck. And he knows duck kung fu. Duck, duck taekwondo, no, not duck taekwondo, nothing like that. But Howard the Duck goes to the real world of Cleveland, Ohio, and then he is meeting with Beverly Switzer, and she's a rock star, but in real life, she's not a very successful rock star. She is struggling. And so Howard the Duck gets the crap beat out of him when he first lands in Cleveland, Ohio, because he was pulled to Cleveland, Ohio by the machine that they made that I will talk about later, that, crap, that they would have invented to go to different alternate universes, and yeah. So Howard the Duck gets the crap beat out of him. He's hiding in a trash can, and Beverly Switzer does a rock concert, and she's walking home, and two punks, or two big guys that look like they're rejects of a rock group or whatever, come and try to rob her or try to do whatever they're trying to do to her. And then Howard the Duck said, "I can't stand it anymore. I'm a duck," or something like that. And he beats the crap out of her. And then Beverly Switzer, she beats the crap out of him too. And that's freaking awesome. This is why I'm saying Howard the Duck is awesome. No, let's just say this. Howard the Duck doesn't suck. The movie is incredibly awesome. And so they have a friendship and everything. And she says, "I'm going to take you to a scientist. So I'm going to put you in a plastic bag in a cab." And he's not a scientist. He's a janitor. But it's the great... it's kind of funny. The guy tells her that he's a janitor. And that he was a scientist and everything, and he's going to school to get his scientific degree, but he's a janitor in a museum. That makes a lot of sense. And anyways, so they argue because he's mad because everybody thinks he's a freak. Well, in the human world, when you think that's kind of freaky right there, that there's a duck talking and it's wearing people's clothes, I would freak out. But anyways, he goes around looking for a job, and he finds a job. His boss is a jerk face. It's kind of like a spa place, and he's like, "I need you to clean this spa." And Howard the Duck's like, "I'm on a break." And he's doing his break and everything, and the boss says, "Well, it needed to be cleaned a long time ago," so he throws them into the waters, and Howard the Duck says this one line, "I can't swim." And they're thinking, "Never heard of a duck that can't swim? That's ridiculous." So anyways, he goes back and watches a Looney Tunes cartoon with Daffy Duck, and it's a Robin Hood Looney Tune where he goes swinging and he hits thing, and then he hears there's a tailpipe in the back, and well, anyways, before that, he gets off the bus, and people are freaking out because he's a duck, and they said, "That's a duck, man! That's a duck, man!" And he's watching the cartoon, and he hears his telephone go boom, boom, sound like it, because he's after the cartoon's over. Well, maybe there's like a whole bunch of TVs going on, and they're talking about duck season and duck fillet and delicious, and how the duck's like, oh my, oh god, and he's freaking out, and he goes to the alley that he fell into the chair, and then he sees the club that Beverly works at. So he goes in there and watches her, and she's singing this mellow kind of song, and then she says, "Nah, this song sucks." So, bam, she sings this rock song, and then Howard sees her manager, and her manager and her boys, her thugs or whatever, aren't giving the cut that they should give Beverly. So he says, "You better give Beverly her cut, or there's gonna be trouble." And the guy's like, "What this? Is this a duck? You get him away!" And they slide him across all the glasses towards the bar on the bar and everything. And he's got this look. "You did not just do that. I'm Howard the freaking Duck." And he beats the crap out of him. I don't want to ruin anything because if people haven't seen Howard the Duck, then it's kind of ruining. I don't know. Maybe I'm ruining every bit of Howard the Duck, or you've never seen it. Maybe you have seen it. But he gets the money for him, and the janitor that's supposed to be a scientist comes in and says, "I'm gonna find out how to get you back home," because that's the whole thing. Howard the Duck's trying to get back home, and he can't really get back home. So anyway, they end up, and he gets the feathers when they're leaving the building, because they're all in the dressing room and they're leaving the building, and Howard goes back to Beverly's apartment, and they're watching TV and doing just enjoying TV, and then all the scientists come in and tell Howard that they built a machine that could pull things out of different universes, and that's what happened to Howard the Duck. He was pulled out of his apartment to all the way to Cleveland, Ohio, the real world, from Duck World. So the head scientist, I can't think of his name, Dr. Jennings. Dr. Jennings, yes. He goes there to prep the machine to get Howard back to the world, and the other scientist goes with Howard, Bilsey. I forgot his name. I can't believe I forgot the janitor that was supposed to be a scientist. Bilsey, that's his name in the movie. And Beverly Switzer all go in a van, and there's something wrong. Something happened. They pulled something out of a different universe that they're not supposed to pull. The Dark Overlord take over, takes comes from his world, Nexus 7, and takes over Dr. Jennings' body. And Dr. Jennings doesn't know what's happening because he's freaking out and his body's not doing what it's supposed to do. And he starts to wreak havoc when they go to a chicken place. It's a Chinese chicken place or something, and he destroys it, and he captures Beverly, and Howard and Filsey are trying to get him back, but they got the cops on him because the cops think that he's a legal alien, and so they're two fugitives, Filsey and Howard, and Beverly is with Dr. Jennings that has a Dark Overlord in him, and he goes to a power plant and powers himself up. Power himself up and he's got Beverly, and he comes back and he's like, "I feel much better." And then there's on the highway, there's people all lined up, and because exhaust thing checking, and they're put he bumps everybody really hard, and and then the cop says, "I need to see your license, Jack," and he's like, "My name is not Jack," and then he shocks the cop, and then one of the cops uses a shotgun, and that makes him out, and lasers go out of his eyes and blows up all the cars. So we get to the final scene of them all back in the plant, and Howard sees Beverly tied up with Dr. Jennings that looks kind of like the Dark Overlord, and he is trying to bring more of his friends down to infest or take over people's body for the Dark Overlords to grow, and Beverly's going to be the first one. But Howard and Filzy find a weapon, the laser Atronton, I think it was called, and Howard gets a car, or maybe it's like just a mobile car or something, and he goes toe to toe with Dr. Jennings, the Dark Overlord, Dr. Jennings. And they do a kind of Western standoff with each other that's really cool, and they blow half of the plant pieces. And so they find Dr. Jennings, but the Dark Overlord is not in there, and he comes out and he wreaks havoc. He shocks both of their body doing something to like breaking down their body or something, because because Howard and Filzy both release Beverly, and pretty much the Dark Overlord is still trying to get his buddies so they can all take over the world and bring total destruction to the world. And so Howard is trying to get back in the vehicle, and he finally gets back in the vehicle, and he's going head to toe with a scorpion looking Dark Overlord. That's what it really looks like, a scorpion, freaky scorpion looking thing. And after that, they go head to head like the Western thing again, and he square shot him because he was going to shoot him with the tail, and blows him to pieces. But the things are still coming because he already activated it, and the Dark Overlords are being pulled. And pretty much the only thing he has to, Billsy says, blast it. And Beverly says, no, you won't be able to get home. And Howard says, goodbye, Duck World. And shoots the thing that the dimensional pull or universal dimension machine or whatever you want to call it, and he saves the world. And then they do the theme song of Howard the Duck, and that's pretty much how I thought of Howard the Duck, because I always thought it was one of the greatest movies when I was a kid. I still think it's a great movie. I don't think it's bad. I really don't think it's bad. It's one of those movies that you have to watch and just say, this is awesome. I love it. And Howard the Duck, in my book, is not bad. It's an awesome, radical movie.